Hi, and welcome to That Guy's a Maniac, the podcast. I'm your host, Richie.
And I'm your host, Kanzi11, aka Farley. Cue the music.
And we're back with 1990 Part 2 because we waffled on for the entirety of our previous episode. It was entirely deliberate and we really, really meant it. So Farley, quick rundown of the things we talked about last time.
I opened a Dialga pack against my best judgment.
Okay.
Nothing new.
So,
on the podcast.
Yes.
We talked about the year, the 1990.
So
we spent a long time trying to guess female character from a 1990s video game.
That's correct.
We talked about we talked about mostly being old.
Films.
And
being
brains.
old and listening to films.
Brains
You don't
not
like Back
working
to the
anymore.
Future. You think DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp is better than The Little Mermaid. And other such things.
Yeah. Everyone should watch All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
And for the 17th week in a row, we mentioned the film Ghost.
Yes. So we also touched on the music of the 90s. We touched on such wonderful songs that were all in films as Roxette, It Must Have Been Love from Pretty Woman. There was also Madonna's Vogue.
A big recap of the episode that went on for too long.
Very. I'm doing it quickly, very quickly.
Quick enough.
Yeah. John Bon Jovi, Blaze of Glory, etc., etc. We are going to move on to the events of the 1990s, but before that, we have our patented game, character item level.
Whoop.
So Farley,
Mm-hmm.
you have to guess
Yes.
what I'm thinking of.
Yes. Richie, is it a character item or level?
It's a character.
Good. Because level's very hard.
It is, yeah.
Is it from a Nintendo game?
Yes. No, it's not a Nintendo game. Sorry, not a Nintendo game.
No.
Talking out my bum.
Great.
Go on.
Is it a Capcom game?
No.
Is it a Codemasters game?
No.
Is it a Bitmap Brothers game?
No.
Is it a Konami game?
Yes.
Is it a character from Metal Gear universe?
No.
Is it a character from a sports game?
No.
Is it from Castlevania? Is that Konami?
I'm going to say it is, but no, it's not.
It's not from. It is Konami, but it's not from.
Yeah.
Is it? God, I'm trying to think of a Konami game. Is it from Silent Hill?
No.
Are they from Silent Hill? I should say it's a character. Well, this is getting a bit tricky for me then because I just whenever somebody says Konami, I just think of all the games that.
Maybe don't go down the Konami path. I am.
Okay.
I'm helping you in this direction. I have chosen this because it is appropriate for the theme.
Okay. So Summit of 19. Is it from a game that came out in the 1990s?
Kind of. In the UK, it came out in the 1980s.
All right. Okay. So it probably came out in Japan in 1968.
Japan in May 12th, 1989.
Okay. All right. That's not too bad. Is it Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
I don't think it's that old, is it? Oh, is it from Is it Turtles?
It is, yes.
Okay. So the maximum number of questions. Is it a turtle?
Oh, yes.
Right. So if I was doing really badly, this would take 4 guesses.
Yeah.
However, I'm gonna take less than 4.
Right, do it.
Do they have a bladed weapon?
They do.
Okay. Is it the leader of the turtles?
I mean,
Depends.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
considering their weapons,
Yeah.
which one is the actual only bladed weapon?
Oh, they're not the size. The katanas are the only bladed weapon.
Exactly.
Is it Leonardo?
It is Leonardo. Well done, Farley.
Who's your favourite turtle?
I have
Still
to
can
say
be.
that
Still can be.
I think I kind of liked Michelangelo for being quite laid back. The rest of them took themselves far too seriously. Is our friendship over by saying that?
Yeah. In all my life, I don't know anyone who chose Michelangelo's.
You don't want those kind of people in your life.
No, I've deliberately sought them out. I asked people what their Myers-Briggs profile and their favourite turtle is, and based on those 2 answers,
Just cut them out.
Just cut them out. I'd had you down as a Donatello man because he likes computers. In some of the iterations of the thing.
Yeah, he seems to be the fixer-upper of things.
Mm.
Raph is always edgy and edgelordy. He might as well have a black bandana instead of a red bandana. You know?
Yeah.
Leonardo. Fine. Whatever. He's got swords.
How did the song go? The song was about them, right?
Like the lyrics, it's like, because it sort of explained Raph. He's a real mean dude.
Yeah, and then Leonardo's like, he's the leader.
Yeah,
He's the worst.
Donatello does machines.
He does machines. That has
that
lands
doesn't work
differently
in this day and age.
2020.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, very Megan Fox.
Raphael's cool but rude.
Yeah. Okay.
Michelangelo's a party dude.
Yeah.
Leonardo leads. He got the short end of the stick there.
You really did. But got the best weapons. The only real weapons in all actuality.
The only real weapons. Yeah.
Right, okay. Without dwelling further on the turtles, because we did spend a lot of time talking about the turtles last episode as well.
Yep.
Let's move on to the things that happened in 1990. 1990. So I did a quick sort of rundown of exactly what happened and what was exciting, and it's really depressing. There's a whole ton of stuff about wars in the Middle East, Gulf Wars, Operation Desert Storm, Operation Desert Shield. It's all very, very much, we don't like the Middle East or whatever. There's a lot of tension stuff, and it's all about Americans wanting oil. So I won't go into any more detail on that one. But in 1990, we got the reunification of Germany. East and West, dividing line gone. Hoop-de-doo. Mandela got released.
Despite what what Gen Z people claim to remember.
Yes, this whole thing that he was dead but wasn't dead and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I think
the Mandela effect.
But there's no Mandela effect. There's just stupid people.
There are people who can agree that they thought about a thing that might have happened and believed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like when Walkers swapped the colours over.
I mean, they did.
No, they didn't.
They really did.
They didn't.
They did.
No.
For in the UK,
No.
salt and vinegar was always blue, and cheese and onion was always green. When Walkers took over, they switched the colours. It is unequivocal. That is not a Mandela effect. That is a thing that happened.
But that's not what people are arguing.
All right, okay.
They are arguing that Walkers swapped their colours.
Oh, right. No. The Walkers came in.
So people
took
remember
over from
a green cheese and onion Walker's standard crisp.
If there ever was, it was to placate at some point.
It's one of the questions on their FAQ page. It is. Contrary to popular belief, we've never swapped the colours around, not even temporarily. We've no plans to change these designs as their signature to our brand.
Okay. I mean, I believe that. But yeah, I don't. Like anybody who says that the colours were the other way for other crisp manufacturers, because Walkers came in and basically consolidated everything. They took over, was it Smiths and Tato and all these other ones, and sort of
Tato.
Yeah.
The people who made Space Invaders.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And New Zealand Story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
does the IP still sit with Walkers?
That's why we have a kiwi flavored crisps, and they taste a little bit like chicken.
We're still kids. I'm gonna write to
them. Right. It would be so good if that thing where Walkers came in was actually in 1990. Let's pretend it is, and current.
Walkers came in 1990. Everyone remembers that.
Yeah. Mandela effect it. Gaslight Mandela effect it.
Nelson Mandela.
Yes. Mandela was released.
First thing he asked for.
As soon as he got out was, I want some salt and vinegar crisps, and I demand it in a green packet.
Yeah. And all the other brands were like, no, can't do it.
Cannot do it for him, man.
Yeah, he's been in prison.
Yeah.
What were the name of those green crisps that were pickled onion flavour? Were they Space Invaders?
Yeah.
The OG ones, right? Because you can get them anymore? No, that's Transformer Snack. Fucking God, British people talk about crisps. Move on.
Yeah.
Enough of those.
In 1990, there was the poll tax riots.
Oh, great.
Maggie Thatcher quit. John Major took over.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Do you remember 1990 being Italia 90?
Yes.
Did you have the Panini? Is it Panini?
Yeah.
I've never said this out loud. The Panini sticker book.
I'm sure you've recorded an episode of the podcast where you say Panini. Yeah,
no, but the thing that's getting me is I didn't realise it was the same name as the fucking toasted sandwich.
Toasted sandwich.
But yeah, I remember collecting, despite hating football and not following anything, I had the Panini sticker book, and I remember getting like shiny World Cup stickers and stuff like that.
Was it the World Cup in 1990? Was that Italia 90?
Yeah, Italia 90, yeah. That was the year of Gaza and Paul Gascoigne doing the whole crying thing. And if you remember, there was a chant. Whenever it was on like TV, it was "Go Lazio."
That was for. Yeah, that was for. I think that was just for a TV program about Italian football. Football Italia.
Football Italia. Okay. I just remember that so much.
Yeah, I think it was a long-running program that would, was kind of a highlights of Italian football. So every weekend, you'd hear that.
Okay.
I've looked
I
into
wondered why. I wonder why it was in my brain.
Yeah, it's like just super into. I mean, yeah, exactly what you were saying about Italia '90. I also, despite not particularly being interested in football, did get caught by the Italia '90 bug at that point. I looked up why it's called Panini, and it is after the Panini brothers who founded it in 1961.
Okay.
So in Italian, I guess they're called Sandwich Brothers.
Yeah, they're like Tato. They've got a dual business, making video games and also crisps. They make toasted sandwiches and stickers.
I mean, it'd be like having the surname Sandwich, which I guess is where the name Sandwich came from.
I think that's the thing. The Earl of Sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it was another Panini who invented the sandwich.
Yeah, like their cousin or their third brother. They're a slightly special third brother who used to get 2 irons and just shove a loaf between them.
And although the third brother has unarguably made a larger contribution to the world, the Sticker brothers at least, managed to monetize it, whereas
they managed to keep a sense of credibility, Well,
they just got paid for it, right? Whereas no one's paying you to make a sandwich. You know what I mean? We don't have to pay Mr. Baguette every time you.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Baguette.
Okay. As well in the 90s there was.
This week's got such weird energy about it.
It really does.
I don't know what it is.
We also had the Human Genome project get started. Mm-hmm. Hubble got launched, and the Channel got finished.
Channel. Did you go and see the Channel?
No, I just remember it a lot on telly.
It was too far away for you, I guess. Yeah,
I remember it was in Waterloo and not in St Pancras.
Yeah. But because I grew up around that way, I remember years worth of school trips being to go to the Eurotunnel experience, which was like
oh no way.
Yeah, like an educational centre. There was like a model showing you with like trains going from London to Paris. In fact, somewhere I've still got a little figure. They had a mascot called, I think it was Monty the Mole.
I mean, that's appropriate. I think I like that. That's quite cool.
So he's like a little mole. He's got a bowler hat and like a newspaper because he's going to France to.
Oh, because he's British, yeah.
Do some business, yeah. I don't know if France had a mirror version, a mirrorverse.
Oh no! I'm just thinking of French stereotypes, and I'm not going to go down that.
The thing is, dude, when you go to France, and you take one step out of Gare du Nord train station because you've used the Eurotunnel, and you unironically bump into like a guy wearing a blue and white shirt, sat on the corner drinking a tiny coffee, smoking a Gauloise cigarette, and he's carrying a bag with like
bread,
baguettes, yeah, and he's wearing a beret. Like, well, okay, whether or not he's rude, I don't know, but yeah.
There are good stereotypes and there are bad stereotypes. Like when I went to France, when I went to Paris, I was happy that there were baguette shops in every corner. I was happy that it was like every place served cheese of some kind. It's like, this is great. I love France for that. I didn't really think people were rude. I think there's that foreigner thing they do where if you try to talk to them in French, they speak back to you in English, which is just passive aggressive, I like it, and I tried a little bit of German in Germany, and they're like, you tried. You actually said you wanted to find the toilet. You didn't want a small beer, but yeah, because that literally happened to me. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's something.
In Belgium, where they are very much split by two cultures, two regions, and two languages. If you hang around Brussels, you'll see like a Dutch-speaking person, I don't know, go to a shop or something, or go to like a cafe and order in Dutch, and the Wallonian person who speaks French will understand them perfectly and respond to them in French, and they'll just both have the conversation in the language they speak.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
That's quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to move on. That's all the news there was in 1990, by the way.
All the news. Okay.
All the news. Well, the rest of it was really depressing. A lot of reporters died or were detained. So I don't want to go into that.
I mean, plus ça change, right? Plus ça change.
Plus ça change. There is. I've got a list of births and deaths.
Why are we dragging this episode? Right, go. Let's do it.
Okay.
January.
So
1st.
I'm going to start with the death.
January 1st.
No. Like
Peter John died.
Nah.
At midnight. At 5 minutes past midnight, Emily Clifford died.
So dead people, famous dead people. So Jim Henson died in 1990.
Really? I didn't know he was dead.
Jim Henson?
Yeah.
See, I remember that because I watched the Muppet Show where they are actually like, it was a Muppet memorial almost.
Shall I reveal another secret?
Go on.
I don't care for the Muppets.
I'm with you. I want to care about the Muppets. I feel that they were part of my life, but they were never good.
No.
It's like I get the same feeling when I watch Saturday Night Live. Like yes, none of those sketches are funny or good.
There's a big there's the big whatever 50 was it 50th celebration?
Was it
recently,
right? Okay.
Like last week of SNL.
Right.
And so whatever, the algorithm has decided that I was interested in this. So loads of people from SNL. It's so bizarre. It must be like when the cricket makes it over to America. Like, what the fuck is it? Oh, there's Adam Sandler. I vaguely recognise him. So everyone's going on about it and they're doing all these inside jokes and skits. And like, do you know what? I don't think I've ever seen an SNL skit. And loads of people were posting their favourite one. And oof.
I mean, yeah, like there's one or two that are okay, but it's mostly just trash.
Just trash. There's one where it's got Adam Sandler in it and Rob Schneider's in it and the George from Seinfeld's in it, and it's about the juice. They're in like a Greek. It's like a classic skit apparently. Okay. They're in a Greek restaurant and they order, and he says, "Oh, this juice is really nice." And he goes up to the counter and says, "Do you have any more juice?" And Rob Schneider's like, "Oh, you like the juice?" And he goes, "Yeah, can I get some more juice?" And then two other guys turn around and he goes, "Oh, he likes the juice?" And he goes, "Yeah," and you get some juice. And he sits down and they just watch him. That's it. That's supposed to be like, people posting that as it say, "Oh, this is when SNL peaked."
Wow. Okay.
I don't even know, ironically or not anymore. Yeah. Odd. I guess you had to be there.
I like the Beavis and Butthead thing with what's his face, Ryan Gosling as Butthead or Beavis. That was quite funny. But again, like, it's a little snippet of what I imagine is an hour, and that was 45 seconds of a skit. And like, oh, it doesn't hit. It's a lot of throwing shit at a wall and hoping some of it sticks, but I think it's comforting to a lot of Americans.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's great that we're able to talk about this in a podcast about video games.
It just doesn't laugh out loud funny. And I and I feel that way about the Muppets. Like, oh yeah, no, I like the Muppets. And then there's that weird film where they do the cycling, and then you watch an episode of the Muppets Show and go, that's a bit chaotic and a bit annoying.
Yeah.
And then there's only like Sesame Street's been going for 1,000 years, but there's only like 2 segments to it. And then are they Muppets? I don't know. I mean, they are obviously, but are they?
They are, yeah, but like not the traditional.
Like the one thing I'll allow, 2 things I'll allow from Sesame Street in to stay out of room 101. The rest of the Muppets can get to fuck. Three things I'll allow.
Okay, you've got 3 things. Room 101, that's bitch.
Yeah, all the rest of the Muppets is going to the room 101. The 2 old guys on the balcony, I think they are endlessly hilarious.
Yes.
Whatever they are, Warback and Stein, whatever.
Yeah.
The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 little animations, not even Muppets, but that can stay.
That's
and then
Sesame Seed, yeah. Sesame Seeds?
2 Sesame Seeds. Can you tell me how to get some sesame seeds, please? I'm making a sticky tofu. I'd like to put them on top.
Right, sorry, your room 101
Am I there?
entrance.
No, not the 3 things not going to room 1. Is the 2-headed Muppet in Sesame Street that puts the 2 words together?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pine. Apple.
Pine. Pineapple. Pineapple. Pineapple.
Oh, dear.
Jim Henson Company or the Henson Company, whatever. Make me an hour-long DVD of just those 2 guys, and you have my money.
Yeah.
Muppet Babies, thoughts?
I always found it quite jarring that they were called Muppet Babies and yet it was an animated cartoon. I think for it to be Muppets, they need to be puppets. That being said, I don't think I hated it. I think I quite enjoyed watching the series.
Yeah, I think I enjoy that more than Muppets itself.
Yeah.
But then again, let's have a look. You know how there are some things that had a big impact?
Oh, I bet it has not stood the test of time.
And you're like, oh yeah, I still love that. Oh no, they had 8 seasons. Okay, they really went for it.
I'm trying to. I feel like I've got the theme tune almost in my head.
Muppet Babies. It was still airing in 1990.
Wow, there we go. Relevant. Bring it back to the podcast.
Season 6.
Yes, so Jim Henson died.
Rip in peace.
Yep, and Keith Haring died as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His career's gone from strength to strength.
I mean, it was always good. I don't think he was ever not considered good.
There's some bizarre collab at the moment, isn't there?
I think there's a lot of Keith Haring X.
Yeah, it's Keith Haring X, some cosmetics.
Reebok. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh my god, yeah. Jesus. He did a collab with Razor?
Really?
Yeah. That was a while ago.
1990?
Doubt it. I don't think Razor was there, was it?
Okay, born in 1990.
Muppet Babies.
Underground, fighting underground. What am I thinking of?
Were they?
I
didn't watch the later seasons where all the time they're being brought up in the nursery to then dogfight
underground. Mass Crusaders. That's what I was singing. Mass Crusaders, Muppet Babies. Same amount of syllables.
Babies, fighting underground. My babies. There's a chicken with a knife on it.
A chicken with a knife on it.
Yeah, just taped.
Mass crusaders working all the time, fighting crime. That was it. That's what I was thinking. It. Muppet babies working all the time, fighting crime, fighting crime. Mask is not from the 90s, but
what? When's that from?
Apparently 1985. Although it was probably brand new for people in the UK in 1990 on the Timmy Mallet show. Right, people that were born. Hermione was born in 1990, alongside Bella from Twilight, and also Barbie
In the same ward.
and Mystique.
Dude,
Yeah,
you can't...
all together.
Barbie. By Barbie, do you mean?
I meant Emma Watson, Kristen Stewart, Margot Robbie, and Jennifer Lawrence.
Wow, really? Margot Robbie's the same age as those?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have said that.
and Liam Hemsworth as well.
I never would have put those five together for sure.
No, not in the same year.
Yeah, I thought Margot Robbie was older. Not in a non-flattering way, but the other. I guess the other.
I feel like she's been on TV longer. I feel like when you were looking at Hermione being like, it's what is it? Whatever she said, it's Leviosa. Margot Robbie was the same age. That's mental. I feel like she was on TV longer. I feel like she was on Home and Away already, like much older. Or Neighbours. Was it Neighbours? I feel like every Australian person must have been on it, which is really wrong.
Every Australian person must have been on it.
Next to Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah. Was he? He was probably on it, wasn't he?
Probably.
Mask.
Right, now we can get onto computer games
Great.
of 1990.
Perfect.
Which is your section, Farley, so over to you.
One thing I thought was interesting because I was playing the Mega Drive, also known as the Genesis emulator on the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass, whatever the fuck it's called. And the proper way, when you get all the games, the only and proper way to sort them is by year of release.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that and kind of playing through the NES and whatever. And I can't remember what I was playing. But I was kind of shocked because the first Mega Drive title, and it was Mega Drive as well, was in 1989. I was like, that seems a bit early. Because, it was out the same time as the NES.
That seems mental. So
Yeah.
Sega did that jump to 16-bit before the SNES.
And it's a bit fucked up because we got these things really late.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the SNES didn't come out in 1990, did it?
No, I don't think so.
Let's look it up.
I would say later, in fact.
Yeah, Japan, it was 1990. We didn't get it until 92.
92.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Brazil got it in 93. Russia got it in 1994. Yeah. So that kind of blew my mind because for me the NES is firmly 1980s, end of the 80s, early 90s. But the fact that you could have been, I don't think many people were because these systems were excruciatingly expensive. But in theory, you could have both been playing your Mega Drive and I guess near the end of the NES.
Yeah. But the early Mega Drive titles were not great.
I don't know, man. Shinobi.
Oh, okay.
Strider.
Yeah.
Columns.
Okay.
Columns holds up. It's a good puzzle game.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's not quite Tetris. But yeah, to think that columns, right? Can you picture columns in your mind for the columns?
Yeah.
Was out at the same time as Dr. Mario. Yes.
I mean, I still probably play Dr. Mario over columns.
No.
Yeah.
With a little gem. Gems is columns. Gems
Yeah.
and gems. No, columns, I'd just fucking Google columns. What use was it?
Yeah, no, I would definitely play it over. Yeah, Dr. Mario definitely.
What? You're mad.
Mad? Why?
Yeah. Because Dr. Mario. Oh, look at it. Shit. It's good. It's a good game.
I don't think we can compare the
I think
graphics.
you can. Look
Okay.
at columns. Look at a
Right,
screenshot
okay.
of columns. Right.
Yep. Got some Greek people high-fiving each other.
Yeah.
Some angels playing it.
Weird game now that I think about it. Like columns. Like they literally meant columns. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Then you look at Dr. Mario. Ugh.
Oh my god. Why is Mario cross-eyed?
Why is the play area so small? I don't need the high score thing to take up a quarter of the screen. And then a static image to take up another quarter of the screen.
Yeah, your screen real estate is quite small. That being said, columns has a similar bad screen real estate. There's round about a third of the screen is for columns in single player.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. 2 players better though. I'd say that much.
Yeah, but I think was there not a 2-player in Dr. Mario as well? That's probably why it looks so horrible for 1 player as well.
Was there 2-player Dr. Mario? Maybe.
Yes, it was. Yeah. That's why the screen real estate is so terrible on 1 player. You just get half the screen or less than half the screen. And that's it.
What should we do? Fuck it. Let's make it.
Fuck it, yeah.
What do you find in a doctor's office? Clipboards? Oh yeah, we'll have 2 of them. What else?
Some viruses and a magnifying glass.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Cool. And then what's he doing?
He throws the pills.
He's mixing drugs in a bottle, right? Is that what we're doing?
Don't get too caught up in that. There's
I don't think that's how.
This is the same guy that eats a mushroom and doubles in size.
I don't think that's how medicine works.
Yeah.
We've got a virus in this bottle, this open bottle. Okay. Just throw different pills in, I guess, until they'll go away.
Yeah, but only if they're matching colors.
To what extent can Mario see what's inside the bottle, or is the bottle zoomed in for our? He's just eating them in.
So he's chucking them in, and we're the gobshites that get stuck with having to sort it all out for him. He's just willy nilly chucking them in.
Exactly,
and
but
we are the ne'er do well.
Do you think he's aware of us as the player? Or
yeah, and I think he's being a dick about it as well.
At some point, it either flows over and you go, "Oh, we can't cure this virus, end of the world," or after a period of time, the virus disappears and they go, "Okay, Mario, you've cracked.
It's time to do the same thing but slightly faster.
You've cracked the antivirus. Can you tell us what you threw in there to kill off the virus?" And say, "Yeah, sure. 200 blue and red pills, 15 double yellow pills, 98 blues." And you go, "Great, we'll mix it up."
But some of them did disappear.
They all disappear. Whereas Column's much more realistic. You put your gems down.
Yeah, you just matched 3, didn't you? I think my favourite of all of these was Puzzle Fighter, though.
I quite like Pocket Fighter.
Pocket Fighter, Puzzle Fighter, same thing.
I think the only difference was Pocket Fighter they were chibi.
Oh yeah, but that was a 2-player. That was a fighting thing, chibi. Yeah,
Do you want
but
to?
it was based on the art from Puzzle Fighter. Or
Do you want the lore from Columns?
Tell me give me.
Go, comma? No. Go. Go back in time to a bygone civilization, the ancient world of Phoenicia, and play the game that originated among the Phoenician merchants. Columns. It's incredibly captivating. You'll find yourself losing track of time, yet it's very simple. You don't have to be a game whiz to play at the hardest level. Columns of sparkling rainbow-coloured jewels drop one after another. Arrange 3 or more jewels of the same colour horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, and remove them from the play screen. If the columns pile up to the top, the game is over. If you have the urge to challenge something different, try flash columns. In the flash columns version, you'll be timed on how quickly you can make a flashing jewel disappear. There we go.
Okay.
Was it based on a real game in Phoenicia?
I doubt it.
That was just back when you could say these things, like just say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh mate, stop just fucking googling columns.
Yes, please.
No,
I mean,
I'm going to continue googling the game, but not. I have to put Mega Drive after it, otherwise I just get pictures of Ionian columns and whatever. Tetris, ports, music, reception, legacy. No, bullshit. It wasn't based on a Phoenician. Of course.
So what other games came out in 1990?
Strider.
Yep.
Play Strider.
Yes, and I played the remake as well.
So, did you beat it?
I did not. I think I
tried-
played it for about half an hour.
I tried playing all these games, right? Shinobi, I think I mentioned last week.
Nails.
I didn't
Yeah.
look up the instruction booklet, so I had no idea how to play it, really. All I could do was throw shurikens and jump around, and that seemed to be okay for a while. I just lost my lives. Strider, I just got my shit pushed in after about three seconds on every level.
Yeah, it's
I was like, oh, imagine having to play that more than 3 times in a row because
unforgiving, yeah.
Because that's what you'd asked for Christmas, and that's the one game you were getting all year.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just had to fucking play Strider. And then I also played Columns, and you'll never guess which one of the 3 I actually played for more. Actually enjoyed playing.
Columns.
Yeah, it was Columns.
Yeah. Did you play New Zealand Story on the Mega Drive? Because it came out in 1990.
No, it's not been released on the thingy yet.
I played New Zealand Story on the Commodore 64.
Me too.
Yeah. Other games that came out in the Commodore 64 in 1990 include Fantasy World Dizzy, which another very, very hard game. I don't think I actually saw more than 3 or 4 screens of Fantasy World Dizzy.
Was Treasure Island Dizzy the first one, right?
No, there was one that was just called Dizzy. Then there was Treasure Island Dizzy that was the second one.
I remember the one
Fantasy
where you were...
World Dizzy's 3.
I remember the one when you were on the island with the coins, which is Treasure Island.
That's
And
Treasure
then
Island Dizzy, yeah.
Fancy World is the one that was even harder than that. Because
Yes.
very early on in the game, you're going left. And then as soon... I think on something like the 3rd screen, as soon as the screen transitions, you fall into a pit of spikes.
That's actually the second screen. If you jump out of the first screen at the wrong angle, you just fall straight into the pit of spikes. And
then soon after that, there's that big troll thing that won't let you past.
Yeah, that's in the same screen. The very first screen you're in, it just won't let you pass, so you have to find another way out by putting the fire out in that room. So you have to find a glass or something like that, or a bucket, and to pick it up, you stand in front of it and you press the fire button, and then you go to some water. You get the water by pressing the fire button next to it, and then you put the water on the fire. It's brutal game.
Readers, if you want the full listen to That Guy's a Maniac, give a oral walkthrough of Fantasy Island Dizzy, please subscribe. For Fantasy World Dizzy, please subscribe to our Patreon.
Yep.
To pick up that episode.
And extra bonus footage.
Footage of... Not footage of the game.
No.
It's footage of Richie watching somebody playing the game and describing
No. I recorded reading through a game FAQs of Fantasy World Dizzy, but only in my pants.
Occasionally, he spoons some cold beans from the can into his mouth and gets some bean juice on his chin.
And continue talking with a mouthful of beans.
And then you pick up the spear. Great.
Solid
Anyway.
Patreon. Patreonizing. Paperboy came out on the Commodore 64. I remember playing Paperboy on the NES as well. Was not a fun game, although very, very high accolades. What were your thoughts on Paperboy?
Hard. It was so hard to get the paper in the right place. It was my recollection. I was probably playing it on some non-preferred system as well, or some weird port. But yeah, it just struck me as being.
But in every system, it was on a diagonal, and
yeah. And then some cunt would just hit you with a car, and you didn't really have any recourse to dodge it.
No. No.
Anyway, hugely.
And I can't even remember what the goal was, because you could break people's windows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was there a score system? I have no idea.
To deliver 7 levels, each corresponding to a different day from Monday through Sunday. Oh. Papers on the Sunday level are heavier than on earlier days, and thus travel more slowly. Do you know what? Kudos to Paperboy for going that deep on the mechanics.
Yeah. Like
game ends.
Whoever got past Monday.
Whoever got past 7:05 on Monday. The game ends once all lives are exhausted, or all subscriptions are cancelled, or the player completes the Sunday training course, whichever comes first.
Great.
Look at that. I didn't know it had that level of depth. It's a bit like fucking, what's that game where you walk along and you get punched by a statue that vomits up its guts?
This is Shadow of the Beast?
Yeah. A bit like Shadow of the Beast. Why have lore? No one's going to see it. Why put in the effort in having lore? No one's ever going to get there. They're not going to get past the first screen.
I mean, like, it's good to have a starting point. Like, how else were you going to get there, you know?
Italy in 1990 was a huge game in the 1990s.
Yes. I'm guessing it was a terrible football game.
Yeah.
Weirdly, did we talk about this last week coincidentally?
Probably not. I don't think we talked about video games last week.
No, we did, because we talked about we wanted to make a movie, and the movie was of the game Outrun, but it was going to be some tragic tale about how the blonde girl in the car just overcome all sorts of adversity, and then at the very last, it was Outrun. It was Saoirse Ronan.
So, yeah. Saoirse Ronan.
Thank you.
One of those is a Lord of the Rings thing, right?
It really is. It's the Raiders of Rohan.
Raiders of Ronan.
Her.
Yeah.
Because she has a film called Outrun as well. And we thought it'd be funny that it was her overcoming alcoholism, and then suddenly the very last scene is her getting into the red
Yeah.
car at the start of Outrun.
A bit like.
But that
the
came
end
out in 1990.
I think that's what we were talking about it actually.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fun. Well, great. There was also another car game, very, very similar, Chase HQ.
I used to love Chase HQ. That was good.
Yeah, I liked that you recognised the cars. You know, like there was like the yellow bad guy and things like that. It was special.
It was special. You're right, Richie. We used to that was because around these times there was a lot of kind of playing random discs that were being circulated around people,
Yes.
and it was a real roll of the dice as to whether it would even work, whether it's really good, and a few games were actually good. And I remember Chase HQ being one that the family spent quite a bit of time
It
playing.
reminds me of another one, but I'm not sure of its timing. I'm sure it's much, much earlier. Do you remember a game called Spy Hunter?
Yeah,
Yeah, but the car, and you had to drive up, and you get like spikes on the side and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
and then you'd
You drive into the back of a
drive into the back of the lorry, and then it would let you out again.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But Chase HQ was you'd be able to beat the first fugitive or the first and second one, and then the third one. There was a real kind of tension to chasing down this supposed criminal that you were driving after. It was cool.
Yeah. It had
There's a Game Boy version of Chase HQ. What did that look like?
oh god.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah. Woeful. Yeah,
Horrible.
I believe it.
Christ.
What else do we have that came out in 1980, Farley?
Some big uns from Nintendo. Double Dragon.
Yeah, okay.
The first Double Dragon is a bit. It reminds me of if you watch the first Mad Max movie.
Okay.
From the days of Furiosa and Fury Road. And you're like, oh fuck, was this what Mad Max started as? And it's just an angry Australian driving around modern day Australia.
Yep.
And Double Dragon is, perhaps quite rightly remembered highly, had an important role in the kind of side-scrolling fight, beat 'em up, whatever that's called. Not the first, but kind of we can trace lots of things back to that. And then you look at Double Dragon as opposed to Double Dragon 2, and you're like, oh, is this what Double Dragon was?
Yeah.
Those are like little chibi men.
Yeah. I mean,
Double Dragon 2, I think, which I played on the Amiga,
I
is
think I played
more.
Double Dragon on the Game Boy first. I know.
That's rough. That's rough. I played Killer Instinct on the Game Boy first. I still have it. No, it's not too bad on the Game Boy. It's hard though, whatever they're called, side-scrolling beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
Back then were just hard though, and there was a certain amount of pattern recognition. But in order to do really well at those games, you essentially just kind of quickly walking backwards and forwards. You know the kind of hitbox size.
Yeah.
And unless you did that, there was no way of winning.
But it wasn't even about the hitbox. It was like you needed to almost meticulously remember every single move, how many enemies were coming in this direction, how many were coming in the other direction, how far you could move along the screen before they would spawn, and then you would get this ridiculous boss guy whose pattern was you were never going to do it the first time.
No.
You know?
Because he's got a move that reaches halfway across the screen, where he puts a spanner in your face, and there's nothing you can do to dodge it. And
There is a thing you can do to dodge it, but there's no way you know it first time.
You either have enough pips, or you don't have enough pips, and then that's it, right back to the beginning of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a tough genre, but we used to throw ourselves against it. Punch Out.
Punch Out came out in 1990.
Punch Out came out.
That's a bit iconic, yeah.
Which is again weird to think that Outrun and Punch Out came out in the same year.
Punch Out Run.
Because Outrun, looks like a game that you might want to play, whereas the original Punch Out looks as bad as Dr. Mario.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't argue it.
Not Super Punch Out. Punch Out.
Yeah.
You're a wee little guy, little Mac. It was good. Don't get me wrong. Dr. Mario, as we've mentioned, and the big one, Super Mario Brothers 3.
3.
Yeah.
See, this is the messed up thing. It's like I have things on my list here, and because it's so inconsistent, I've literally got Super Mario Brothers 2 as coming out in 1990. I also have Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
But also Super Mario World on the SNES coming out in 1990.
Super Mario World on the SNES, 1990. Yeah. So Super Mario Brothers 3 didn't come out in our region until 1991.
That's just nuts. That is just nuts.
Came out in Japan in 1988.
But yeah, so Super Mario Brothers 3, I had a SNES which sold. It came with Super Mario Brothers 3. So that must have mean I bought a SNES in 1992?
Or 91.
Or 91. Okay, 91. I thought you were saying that it hadn't till...
It came out in 1991. Yeah.
Okay. And then I definitely had a SNES pretty soon after. I was a spoiled little Nintendo brat.
But so you know the film The Wizard?
Yes.
With Fred Savage.
Yeah.
And essentially, it's a trailer for Super Mario Brothers 3. Let's just say it's that.
Okay.
Because, it's that his younger kid. His younger brother.
Yeah.
These days, we'd certainly have some letters to diagnose him, but back in the day we didn't. I think he does have PTSD. Oh yeah, 'cause his sister died. Anyway, he gets really good at playing games, and he can only say the word California.
Okay.
Like a Pokemon. Anyway, he's super good at games. Some might say he's a wizard. And so he goes to some tournament, and then he has to play Ninja Gaiden and some other Nintendo game. And then the last round is they have to score as many points as possible on the never before seen Super Mario Brothers 3. And so the footage in the film was like a preview of Super Mario Brothers 3.
Ah, okay.
But that film came out in 1989. So it'd already been out for a year in Japan.
Ugh, man.
And then we wouldn't get it for another. So for us, it genuinely was like, ooh, look at that game.
And of course, we had that whole nonsense with Super Mario Brothers 2 not actually being Super Mario Brothers 2 as well.
Yeah.
It's odd. It's an odd canon, retrofitted canon world.
It is, and it was much less clear because you had like the I guess the early days of the PC,
Yeah.
but then also home computers as different from PCs,
Yeah.
and then
So home computers are like
System,
Sinclairs and
Master System, NES, and Mega Drive. It's like the
was
fucking Golden Joystick Awards in the UK for 1990. It's like Chase HQ wins. No, sorry, this is best selling. Chase HQ is the best selling game of January for home computers. Mega Drive and PC aren't even out yet. Well, there's no games listed for them. California Games is the best selling for Master System, and Super Mario Brothers 2 is the best selling game for the NES.
yeah.
A weird bunch of things to come out at the same time.
I think we chose a silly one. 1990 is a hard year to really talk about when it comes to games.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, of course. There's that. Which is that? It's that game. It's still like, again, it's the Shadow of the Beast syndrome. It's so ridiculously hard, but I have a real fondness for it as well because I did play it for a long time on the SNES, and you got to know like each one of the dungeons that you had to go through to try the next thing. I wouldn't mind playing that on the Switch service NES thing, and then just being able to rewind. Do you know?
Yeah. So many games I've completed being able to rewind, whereas previously it would have been at some point kicked right back to the title screen of the game.
Yeah. But then the number of times that I'd start the Nintendo service and just forget that you can even rewind. It's like, why are you deliberately putting yourself on hard mode?
Why are you replaying this entire world because you got to the end boss and then lost and went all the way back? But it can be dangerous. I was playing Donkey Kong Country 3, I think, and it got to a point where I was rewinding so often that you're like, oh, careful, because you can get yourself in a trap where you rewind to a point where you can't win, and then you can't rewind back far enough if you keep doing that.
Oh God.
Yeah, because you're just
that's an
doing
anxiety dream right
you're just
there.
doing it every 2 seconds because you're doing it. You start off a bit like when we played our playthrough of Super Mario World. You start off being like, let's not cheat. This is cheating, and we're real men, and we want to go to heaven like the dogs. We're not going to cheat. And then you get to a level that's like a bit annoying, and you lose all your lives, and then you go, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then, yeah, I was just doing it every 2 seconds, basically, to get through some of the levels. But there's other like brutal levels. We got a blind off-screen jump onto 2 pixels of a bouncing tire before you make the next impossible jump, timed against a bouncing enemy before the tire that you're on sinks. You're just like, how was anyone supposed to do this back in the day?
They're so hard. Like, there was so much like that, and there's the thing is like all on the SNES they just brought out all of these awful platformers that were just stressy and evil, and like, just to hark back to like the Wayne's World game, which again is our biggest hit on YouTube. Constant comments on that one. But that game was like, it was awful as a platformer. The power-ups were terrible, and you would just constantly be in some awful peril as well.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Trolls on the Amiga?
Some little blue budgerigar just spawns out of nowhere and flies at you in an
Yeah.
erratic fashion every 2 seconds. I didn't play Trolls. I was aware of it. I really wanted to play it for some reason. I remember wanting to play it. Now listen.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Do you want to know the winners of the 8th Golden Joystick Awards for the UK video games?
Of course I do. What are the categories?
Game of the Year, and it was divided into 8-bit and 16-bit
Ooh,
computers.
okay.
Any idea what either of the Game of the Years were?
For 8-bit, I'm gonna say, because you mentioned it briefly, California Games.
California Games. No,
Oh, okay.
this is very UK. Rick Dangerous 2.
Oh man, of course it is.
And 16-bit Kickoff 2.
Kickoff 2.
Yeah.
I have no idea what Kickoff 2 is. Is that a football game?
Yeah, it's a football game.
Okay, great.
Best console game. 18-bit, 16-bit.
Console games. Alex Kidd in Miracle World. I don't know.
It's a game.
Shinobi.
Mega Man.
Mega Man. Okay.
And on 16-bit, it's John Madden Football. Fucking.
But that's the thing.
countrymates.
Like, the more that you're saying this,
Yeah.
I'm remembering like Bad Attitude and Games Master, and
Yeah.
it was they loved their sports games.
PC.
John Madden, yeah.
PC Game of the Year could be this year as well.
It could be this year as well.
Yeah. This is how-
Is
Unflinchingly unchanging PC game as well.
oh god, Doom,
Railroad Tycoon,
Railroad Tycoon.
unironically.
Wow. Okay.
Then categories you just don't get anymore. Best coin-op conversions.
This is what we were talking about last time. I read
Yeah.
this and I was like, Pang,
The other one.
Bubble Bubble,
The other one.
Contra.
No.
No, what is it?
Rainbow Islands. For
Rainbow
8-bit.
Islands.
8-bit, yeah. And 16-bit, it's a good one.
Ooh,
Rainbow Islands is also a good one.
yeah. I don't know. Tell me.
Golden Axe.
Golden Axe. Of course, Golden Axe. Gotta win the golden joystick.
Best graphics, Richie, for 8-bit computer. And for 16.
Rodland. Oh, yeah, Dr. Mario.
in the year that Columns came out, come on, dude.
Hit me.
Midnight Resistance.
Midnight Resistance.
Midnight Resistance. 8-bit game.
Wow. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? This is very solid 80s. I'm a man with a gun in a vest, standing on a jeep, shooting people.
Best graphics.
Best graphics is a bit sure, okay, whatever.
Okay. And for
Ocean.
16-bit, Shadow of the Beast 2.
Shadow of the Beast 2.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think I remember it having a sequel, you know?
Oh no, they definitely did, and it was I didn't like it because he's a caveman, not this weird beast thing anymore.
Is he Captain Caveman?
No, but I think he's like
Yeah, he's just a running dude. Oh my god, the weird memories that have come back looking at a screenshot. Yeah, he just looks like a little Neanderthal man.
yeah, it ruins the my head canon.
Yeah, it's not called Shadow of the Man, is it?
Yeah.
Shadow,
Exactly.
Shadow of the Guy.
Shadow of Nigel.
Okay, best soundtrack for 8-bit and 16-bit.
Best soundtrack. Shadow of the Beast 2.
It's RoboCop 2.
Robocop 2. Okay.
I played RoboCop 2 on the Amiga. I don't remember it having a great soundtrack.
It seems like Ocean paid them a lot of money.
Yeah, well, speaking of Ocean, they are the software house of the year.
Ah, of course.
There we go. That's who won.
Cool. Oof.
So there, that was it. 19. That's just.
This is
19.
one of the worst years.
It's such a slog. I don't know why we picked it.
It's such a slog because we need to update our format for season 6. That's why.
Pick a year that wasn't. I think we can't go back that far anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We've done 96, and that's the other mad thing, right? In between 1990 and 1996, just the revolution.
Yeah.
In 99, we've done, then 2002, then 2014. Right. That guy needs to get rid of this weird energy.
Yeah. Next week will be better. No guarantees. No guarantees on that one. No refunds.
Listen, readers. Sometimes the goose just lays an egg. Yeah? Sometimes the goose just lays an egg, and this is one of those.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed it.
just end it. Put it out of his misery.
That guy's a maniac.
Whitey. Oh, fuck it. Whitey pay me.